Autonomous cars and VR. When you kind of look around what's going on around you at the CES, do those seem to be the two biggies?
There's definitely two of the ones that are drawing the most interest. Over the last 2 or 3 years, automakers have steadily increased their numbers and square footage here at the show, and this year is no different. In fact, I think the top 9 automakers are all here at the show. And also, before the show even started, on Monday, a new automotive startup called Faraday Future unveiled their concept electric vehicle that supposedly can do, 1,000 horsepower. And on the VR side, of course, the big news coming from a number of tech giants, including Facebook with the Oculus VR, Samsung with their Gear VR, and that's definitely been the talk of the show. Right.
Now, this let's take up autonomous vehicles first of all. I mean, what you're seeing, Mark, at the CES this year. I mean, there's always a bit of a gap between what people show up when people show up their wares, right, at the CES, and when it actually makes its way onto the shelves, when it actually achieves a certain level of critical mass in the retail market. Is it a further ride this year from concept to reality to actual adoption?
It's definitely making very rapid and steady progress. So, Bernie, as you know, typically with cars, given the kind of the life cycle, safety requirements, and the regulatory issues, technology usually moves at a fairly slow but steady pace. But when it comes to autonomous vehicles and or at least what's called piloted vehicles, progress has been made much more quickly than in the past. And so I do see this as a two-stage phenomenon, in terms of before we go to fully self-driving autonomous vehicles, we're going to have an intermediate phase, what's called piloted vehicles, where the car will be essentially kind of like on autopilot when you're riding the jet and in a plane, and that most of the time it will drive itself, but other times it will require driver intervention.
Right. Okay, Mark, on the issue of VR. Now, this is a very interesting one because we've seen virtual reality in various forms for many, many years, but it's always been a sort of niche thing. What is it going to require to take it out of a niche category into something that becomes commonplace in homes? And what is it going to be used for? I mean, I hear it can be used from everything from playing games, right, from enjoying video games, basically with 360 and the whole 4D kind of experience, to meeting up with friends who you don't have, physically cannot because of, distance or, whatever logistical issues, to like taking tours of real estate and actually experiencing things as realistically as possible before actually plunking down and making an investment commitment. I mean, what's going to be the biggest and most widest use of VR?
Yeah, I think in terms of general consumer adoptions, they're going to be probably driven by two main applications. One is in the area of gaming, as you mentioned, especially as things like esports gains more prominence. And the other one is in the area of live events. So, for example, providing the user with the experience of attending a live concert, or like essentially having similar experience at having courtside seats at a basketball game. So live events and gaming are probably going to be the two main drivers for VR, at least in the near term.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Landon Downey from CNBC. Thanks so much for checking out our channel. Here you'll find videos packed with all the info that you need to be smarter about your finances. Be sure and subscribe by clicking right here, and click on all the videos around me to see CNBC's original series Young Money, Tech Bet, Kramer's Mad Money, and all the latest from CNBC.